Hello and welcome back, folks. Here, and today we're going to be doing the review of the SH Figuarts Masked Rider Ryuki from Kamen Rider Ryuki. This right here is another of my SH Figuarts figures that I have in my collection right here, and another of my Kamen Rider figures. And this one I was going to do originally a little bit a while ago back when I did the little short of this, when I eventually got this, but I never got around to it because I got a little bit busy. But now we're here. We're going to do a review, so let's dive right in with the review of the SH Figuarts Masked Rider Ryuki from Kamen Rider Ryuki. So before we do the unboxing of the figure, let's admire the box right here, because I actually do like the design of this box. Because not a lot of, this is something with SH Figuarts, they do a lot of different special box designs. Because a lot of times with the SH Figuarts, usually you see the characters with the clear pictures, which we have seen a lot with a lot of the Dragon Ball Figuarts that I've done a little bit while back, and probably you've seen around when you go to stores and stuff, or you're seeing online. But sometimes you see this with special editions with some of the writers or any of the SH figures having their own basically cover art, so you don't see the figure until you open it. Overall, I do like the way it's designed right here, a close-up of Ryuki, the figure, and I do like the enamel of the silver right here for the name right here, for the bring it up for Masked Rider Ryuki. Overall, looking really nice. The back of the box right here shows up basically the figure itself with all its poses, using the advent cards, and actually glow a little bit glow in the dark. I'm pretty sure there's an LED or something you probably do with the eyes for this one, or they glow in the dark. We'll see that if I do. I'm pretty sure I do have a flashlight. I can probably work with that. But yeah, so now let's go with the unboxing, which this guy we just have to a little bit slipple that. Ooh. And even the inside of the box is also pretty nice too. You get a little bit right there with a little bit of a name. I'll probably translate that later whenever I get the chance to. And then we have the little box, which I actually do like this. This right here is the regular introduction to Masked Rider Ryuki, the little card they always have. Whether or not it has anything inside of it, we'll see right now, because just a little bit of instructions, everything that has right here, the multiple manipulated hands, the weapons like the guard bands, his gauntlet, his sword, different attachments, and like I said before, the belt was his Evan card deck. And basically the helmet actually does come off, so you can actually do the whole LED thing, so I'm pretty sure you can. So you actually throw in the light right there, you can see right there on the bottom side with the flashlight, which I'm pretty sure I could put some LED lights in this, because I know I do have some. We'll see. And then, done, not to look at the figure. Ooh, looking pretty nice. Before out of the box, I'm actually kind of liking this a little bit much more better. Because you know this is a special edition when basically they do with this kind of box over here, double boxed. And this is something a little bit different since what's it called when it comes to other Kamen Rider SH figures, which the other two being my Neo Ichigo and the Masked Rider 2, which their boxes are a little bit much more different. So I haven't done a review for that one because I kind of opened those ones up. But we're looking pretty nice. Now let's get them off the first box, because this actually is a twofer, because the back of the box actually has all of his weapons, all of them very nicely put in there. That's actually pretty nice. Try to get these guys out too. Ooh. And I think that's it. There might be something else, but I think that's the back of the box right there. Yep, that's pretty much it. It actually looks pretty nice. Put this in the side right here. Let's go with Ryuki first before we unbox him right here. Actually looking pretty nice, but I do say so myself. Very nice figure. I will say this. When it comes to my exposure to Kamen Rider, Ryuki technically would be the first one in the list, though it would be more towards the American version with Dragon Knight. Though back then when I released, I was a kid, I really didn't know too much. Same thing with Power Rangers, I didn't know too much of the Super Sentai or Kamen Rider back then. I knew Godzilla a lot, but what's called when it comes to everybody else, not really. Like Godzilla, Ultraman are the only ones I kind of know. I didn't know until way later that Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, well, Power Rangers and Dragon Knight were Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. That's the thing basically you learn once you grow up. And let's go with unboxing them. Ooh, this is pretty nice. And we will be doing the unboxing. And with a lot of SH figures, they will have the little plastic right here to protect them from the lower waist. So a lot of times these ones we usually tend to slip, or just to move the abs around, and usually these guys can just pop off, no problem at all. This is mainly meant to protect the figures themselves, that way a lot of parts don't break out, but these tend to move off, no problem at all, which is actually pretty good. Little plastic is probably off, and yeah. We have Ryuki out of the box, and overall it looks pretty nice. Looking pretty good right there. Oh my god, the detail for this is pretty nice. One of my favorite designs out of Kamen Rider, Ryuki. Oh, that and him being the other Red Rider, so really loving this right here. Looking pretty nice. Detail work looking pretty good right here. Overall, really loving the design right here. Really nice. The belt as well, which I am planning. Come on, camera. Focus at least on this at least a little bit. What are you focusing? That makes sense. Why do you always focus on one thing? There we go. You can see right there, the belt with the deck box, which this actually does come out. I'm pretty sure you can actually pop this. Oh, I think. Well, we'll have to read the thing. Yeah. See, there we go. So the little deck can actually pop out right there a little bit. So this can pop out, no problem at all. And you just slide this back in. This is actually one of the things I actually do like. Which eventually I will get the the Figuarts standard of Ryuki as well. So I can compare both the SH Figuarts and the Figuarts standard. But overall looking pretty nice. And now let's also go the unboxing of his weapons, which we have a multitude. We have basically his guard vent, his gauntlet, his sword. You have the extra attachments for the heads right here, for like the whole LEDs to go in lights. And we have multiple manipulated hands, which I actually do kind of like. It's a lot more than some of the other SH guards. Almost comparable to some of the Figma ones, but actually different ones. We have some open ones here, multiple different open ones, some holding ones, some finger poses, overall pretty nice. And we have the deck cards right here, which look pretty nice. Let's see how this all goes. Hopefully nothing falls off. Ooh, there we go. Throwing a lot of the plastics to the side. Don't want none of this to fall off, I'm going to be honest. Ooh. Starting off with the guard vent. Ooh, that is really looking nice. This is actually, I'm pretty sure this is basically the head attachment of the head of the drag rider. Hopefully I'm saying that name right. Which I will tell you, I will eventually get the SH figure, because there is an SH figure for it too. Though whether or not it's soul separate is a whole nother thing too, because technically there's a dual pack with drag rider, his contractor Evan Beast, with Ryuki. Most of them technically have them. Suja has his own, so does Knight as well with his badge. But I will try to get my hands on that one, hopefully, eventually. I was not given the opportunity, but I have the opportunity to get the survive form of that one. But if I get the survive form of that one, I kind of want to get the survive form of Ryuki, which I will get the survive form of Ryuki. Overall, that should look pretty nice. This technically does open it. See right here, looking pretty nice right there. See the jaw, that's actually looking pretty nice. I do love the design of this. I'm not gonna lie, I should kind of doing a close-up right here. For a little bit of Super Sentai and Power Rangers. It does kind of look like a little bit of Serpentera. Though, let's be honest, a lot of the, I guess Serpentine Dragons kind of look like almost a little bit together, but different designs. But overall, I really do love this guard vent. Basically attaches to the hand right there. Just a little gauntlet piece right there, which I'll probably do a little bit later with one of the different hand pieces. Then we have sword vent. If I try to get this off here. Doesn't want to come off the box, but hey, here we go. And we have the sword right here, which I actually do love the design of the sword right here. Very curved sword, kind of reminds me of a scimitar. With the way designed, I really do like this. The handle's pretty nice, you can see right there. Design-wise, the coloring is actually pretty good. This is one thing I do like about SH Figuarts. They're really painted well. Then right here we have his gauntlet, which will be we will attach in a bit. Looking pretty nice. If the gauntlet decides to ever focus. Oh, right. The camera always focuses on one thing over. Now, there we go. You can see right there. Gauntlet looks pretty nice. I will say this, I do have an opportunity in which I probably will, though that would be a lot of money being spent. I get myself the whole entire Advent decks, along with the gauntlet for Ryuki, which is a lot of money, but I do plan on doing it, maybe for a birthday present for myself. But yeah. And then we have the extra pieces as well for Ryuki, like the different back attachment right here for the head. So right here goes towards the back of the head right here, which I think we showed a little bit. Let me just get Ryuki back up here. Yes, that box right here. different attachment point right here, which we could detach right here. Which, if I can do this right, back of the head gets detached, and then right here, I'm pretty sure we can basically put the LED lights for the back of the head, so that way we can like make them glow, which actually would be pretty nice. But right now, at the moment, I don't have LEDs, so I was actually going to just pour light and just glow in the back of it. So we'll see how that goes. And then we have the decks, which looks pretty nice. Throw in a little bit cover right here. Let me see if I can pop them out. Actually, it's kind of funny. Oh, there's also Bandai too. What's it called? They kind of have everything kind of the same way, kind of like with Decade when we did the review of the Figuarts Standard Decade. The cards are kind of the same, basically the way how they're put in there. So basically you have to pop them out and then eventually get the cards here. I'm not going to do that right now at the moment because I don't want to lose the cards. But yeah, here are all the cards right here. That's hopefully the camera can actually make them see and whatnot. There we go. Hopefully the camera's showing enough so you guys can hopefully see that right here. Hopefully. But here are all the cards. We have basically Sword Strike, Guard Strike, Final Form Strike. I am not forgetting the strikes. But yeah, overall that's pretty nice. The back of the cards too are also the same as well. I can see right here. We just had it. We just had it right there. Sorry, I do apologize for the camera from there pausing. There we go. That's what we want right there. Back of the cards right there. Overall, that's a pretty nice detail. I always find it funny the way they're able to print these and super small forms and make them look pretty nice. And then the rest of it is basically different attachment points. I like rest of the head right here. This is a clear form right here. I'm pretty sure this is for the when you try to do the LED lights thing, so they have different attachment points, which hopefully one of these days I'm actually gonna have to buy LED lights for this to actually make this work. So that might be a little bit future project I might do for a short. And then last but not least, which I kind of want to put this in the little box right here because I actually don't want the hands to pop off. So we have to do this for the meantime because I don't need the hands all falling off right now at the moment. But then we have all the different manipulator hands. I do apologize for putting the plastic right up there because I don't want them to fall because they're going to fall. But yeah, actually, you have multiple different hands to do whole different poses. So yeah, we'll get around to doing that in a bit. But without further ado, let's go with the articulation of Masked Rider Ryuki. So starting out with the articulation, let's go back to figure, do a little bit more form inspection of the full figure. Like I said before, figure looks pretty nice. Really do love the detail. I already said this beforehand. Like legit, the sculpting they did for this, the coloring accuracy to the figure, really good. Bandai and SH Figuarts really outdid themselves with this figure right here. So starting off with the head right here, as these are always on these ball joints, able to spin around, no problem at all. Bob and weave, left and right, no problem at all. And as actually those double neck joints right there, kind of sometimes we see with some Gunpla figures and some other figures as well. Arms right here on their own ball joints right there, so they can spin around, go all the way up, a little bit there. Shoulder armor's kind of blocking this. Sometimes that happens a lot, which we see with some Kamen riders. Sometimes their shoulder armor's a little bit different. Some of them kind of go up, others go down. It depends. The arm is on one of those full arm joints right there, so you can take and spin the arm all the way there. So no problem at all. It's got double joint. Technically speaking, it does have double joints, but you have to adjust it to make it work. There we go. You can see right there. You have to work on the double jointed, but you can push the arm all the way there, which is not bad at all. Hands, like always, are on their ball joints, so they actually swivel around, back and forth, up and down. Back and forth, bob and weave. I do apologize if this camera's not focusing as it should. And like with the torso is on those ab crunch ball joints, so technically it's able to go around, left and right. I probably could twist it, but probably not too much since it's a figure. I kind of want to break it. And unlike the not the SH Figuarts, the Figuarts standard figures, where I can actually twist those torso enough I can, because those are a little more, I won't say loose joints, but they're a little bit more flexible on there. But plus, I don't want to break this. This thing, like the Figuarts standards, this thing right there, to cost me an arm and leg for this. Legs right here under their own ball joints too, so they're kind of on those like double stick ball joints. I haven't really gotten to attach the legs. Kind of like a little specialty design legs right there, so the leg can go all the way there. I don't want to push it because I don't want to break this. All the way down. It would go all the way up, all the way to the side. Actually, that's actually pretty good for the backside. I guess they modified the backside way to actually allow it to go all the way back. But actually, it's surprising because sometimes usually they only go to the side, which technically speaking, it could go like this, which is not bad at all. It does have that swivel joint right there, which I was talking about side, so it can move a little bit that way. The legs on its own double ball joint, so it can do that, no problem at all. And the feet are in their own kind of like design swivel thing. So they're able to bend all the way there, all the way back. Swivel, swivel. And overall, not bad at all. Articulation is pretty decent. If you want to push on stuff. Oh, and also, I think to also show before, the deck as well is also movable for those who want to know. You can actually slide the deck out, put it back in there. And you can also slide the cards in there as well. So the decks actually, the cards can actually slide in and out. So you can actually do that, as shown in the back of the box. But yeah, now let's go with some size comparisons of some other figures I have lying around. Which will also mean other Kamen Rider figures I have. Ooh, come on, Ryuki. Doesn't want to stay up. There we go. So starting off, let's start off with some of the SH Figuarts figures. Starting off with my first SH Figuarts Kamen Rider figure, I'm going to be honest. Mask Rider 2. And basically, Ryuki's actually a little bit taller than Mask Rider 2. That's actually a little surprising. Let me see if I can update. I mean, a little bit almost there as well, but I think Ryuki just takes it a little bit longer. As I've seen, Mask Rider 2 is like around 5, almost 5.5 mark. A little maybe 6 inches. Like I said before, I still haven't found my measuring tape, but I'll eventually get around to finding it one of these days. So going from Mask Rider 2 to one of my newest acquired SH Figuarts, my Mask Rider Neo Ichigo, which is basically buff form, which I actually like to call this the buff form from, which looks pretty nice. And that, like I said before, one of the buff forms for Neo Ichigo, the upgrade version of him, which I actually do love the design. We'll get around to doing the review of this guy one of these days. But yeah, overall, almost actually the same size right here when it comes to this. Going from Neo Ichigo, we have Fang Joker. If I can actually make him stand up right here. Which actually, not gonna lie, the Ryuki's actually almost comparable, same size to a lot of the SH Figuarts ones. Going from Joker, we go to the previous actually series from before Ryuki, Akito, which Akito was actually having a movie coming out this year. Was the what was it called, the Battle Royale one, which actually I'm going to try to get to see. Probably won't see it when it comes out. Probably won't see it later. Hopefully it comes over to States. If not, I'm going to find a way to get it. Going from Agito to the originator of the Heisei era, West Kuga. One of my favorite of the Kamen Riders, and that little design right here. As those Kuga's another red one as well. Going from Kuga, we have, if people want to stop falling apart, Zio. Mask Rider Zio as well. Another my SH Figuarts standards. I do apologize if I keep confusing SH Figuarts and Figuarts standards. Their names very similar, and they're basically owned by the same. They're all proprietary brands of Bandai, so regardless. And like I said before, the SH Figuarts and the Figuarts standards are a little bit different sizes. Figuarts standards are usually around the 6-inch marks because it's kind of a little bit more full-size figures than comparable to like SH Figuarts. Going from Zio, we have the entry grade Kamen Rider Saber. It's basically just a standstill figure, and I still am a little bit mad that we never got a Figuarts standard of Saber, but there is a SH Figuarts version, which I am going to try to get my hands on one of these days. And then last but not least, the other of the card users. Dun 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 dun. We have the Decade. Got from Kamen Rider Decade, and it was his Decade driver. Well, it was upgraded Decade driver. I do say so myself. Looking pretty nice. With Decade holding his Decade card. Actually, I'm going to be honest, I should have been having him hold the Ryuki card on him, but hey, that's fine. Going from Decade, we have some of my other, well, I don't know what we'll classify this Figuarts standards, but they are Bandai Star Wars figures. Starting off with Lord Vader himself. yes, I do have a Darth model kit of Darth Vader. I was gonna get my hands on the Black Series Darth Vader too, which I probably get if I do get my chance on it one more time. But that will be later. Then going from Vader himself, we have the Book of Boba Fett model kit of Book of Boba Fett, which I actually do like this design a little bit much more better. I actually kind of like the model kit versus the figure because I do have the figure of it, and between the both of them, I do like the model kit a little bit better. That's also because the model kit has the more cloth fabric than the figure, which kind of has like the more plastic rubber of the cloaks and stuff, which I think does make a difference. Then going from Book of Boba Fett to OG Boba Fett, which I actually do have. Which I do have both versions of the Black Series and model kit version of Boba Fett, because I do love designs, and Mandalorians and basic bounty hunter armors are basically my thing. As I've mentioned before, when I collect multiple figures, I usually prefer to collect the mostly armored figures of characters, as I do have more preference for that. And then we have, my custom version of Mandalorian, because technically speaking, I decided to customize them in my color scheme with red highlights, which I do like a little bit much more better. And also painted the silver Beskar into more gunmetal Beskar, which I actually think is a little bit better. I was going to do a little more customization, but I kind of left it as this. And then last but not least, we have the Buckethead himself, a regular Stormtrooper. Sadly, I don't have a model kit version of the Clone Troopers, even though they technically do have them, and I did not get the chance to do that. But, we're not done yet. Then we also have my custom knight from the 30-minute mission fantasy series. I guess you can call him my Dragon Knight, since he's also a dragon wielder too. If we actually decide to stand. And he's not deciding to stand. No, wait, you're getting to stand. I'm not done. And also I'm not done with this guy yet. He still has a lot more modifications. I tend to add some more armors to him as well, and a little bit more cloaks and stuff. But that'll be a little bit later when I get around to do customization. But yeah, that is it for the comparison. Let's go with final thoughts. And with that, folks, out of the way, that is it for the review for Masked Rider Ryuki from Kamen Rider Ryuki. Overall, pretty nice, really great SH Figuarts. Has a good number of accessories. Its sword vent, its guard vent, its gauntlet, multiple manipulator hands, different attachment points for the head, which will be for the LED things, which I will try to do hopefully later down the line. I'll probably do that in the short right there, so you can see that a little bit much more better. Overall, really, really nice figure. And if you're a fan of Masked Rider Ryuki, or Kamen Rider Ryuki in general, I do recommend it. I will say this, I will try to get my hands on his Advent Beast Drag Rider, hopefully later down the line. If not, it's either I'm going to get them separately, or I'm going to get them with the pack of Masked Rider Ryuki SH figures that comes with both of them, which that one's going to be actually a little bit expensive. But we'll try to get my hands on that, hopefully, and do some videos with both of them together. But yeah, overall, pretty great figure. I do recommend it if you do like it and you're a fan of Kamen Rider Ryuki. But yeah, if you like the video, please consider dropping a like, share, and subscribe. I do appreciate it, folks. And as always, have a nice day. It is I, Pardon, signing out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.